Hello, I am back with another book review. So yeah, let's get started. This book is called Men Without Women by Haruki Murakami. This book I picked up back in April. Beginning of April, I picked it up because I am in a book club with some gals that I met online, and the book for the month of April was this one, Men Without Women. So we read it and we discussed it. I think this was a good book, but I don't know why it took me such a long time to kind of like get through it. There's different parts. It's more of like different stories. I've never read a book by this author, Haruki, so this is one of my first ones, but I do want to go pick up some more by him because I think there's some other ones that I probably will like better. This one was very different. I don't know why it took me a while to get through. I did get through it in April, but it took me a little bit longer than normal, than I usually do. But yeah, this book was really, the title isn't it, but it was of different stories about the same characters. Let me read the back. It says, across 7 tales, Haruki Murakami brings his powers of observation to bear on the lives of men who, in their own ways, find themselves alone. Here are lovesick doctors, students, ex-boyfriends, actors, bartenders, and even Kafka's Gregor Samsa brought together to tell stories that speak to us all. In Men Without Women, Murakami has crafted another contemporary classic, marked by the same wry humor and pathos that have defined his entire body of work. That is so true. But I feel like in a way, all of these characters like were connected. Like there was a story with one character, and then in the next story, that character was in that other story. It was different stories from different men, but basically like all connected. But yeah, it was a good story. I do have some annotations, but I didn't annotate them in here. I think one of my favorite stories, it's mainly about men who feel alone. There's one story where there's a man where his wife died, but he's trying to make sense of it all because she was not the best wife. She had an affair with another guy and all this stuff, so he's trying to just make sense of her death, and especially since, you know, in her final like moments she was seeing and sleeping with another guy. So it's all crazy. There's a guy that is with a girl who is not the love type. She kind of just is there with him to sleep with him. He's using her, but she's using him at the same time, so it's for an equal, like they're equal in that way. Like he has no problem of her not having feelings for him, and yeah, but he wants more in the life. Yeah, it's different stories. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 stories, but then in the end they all come back tying to the first story of the first guy, because it is about the tale of a guy who is basically telling these stories to another guy, and that's the whole process of the book. But yeah, there's some quotes in here. Like there's this one right here, page 83, from An Independent Oregon. That chapter says, his friends all insisted that when all was said and done, having children was a wonderful thing, but he never could buy this sales pitch. They probably just wanted Tokai to shoulder the same burden they dragged around. They selfishly were convinced that everyone else in the world should be obliged to suffer the way they did, because again, this man was not married and did not have any children, unlike the rest of his friends. So it really does emphasize a lot on different men who are alone. But there's some that find like acceptance in that loneliness. I think a lot of us kind of are like that. I know I am, but I'm still young. I know I'm only 22, but I feel like I'm kind of made peace, and I actually kind of don't mind being alone. It's not something that like I dread. I don't want children, and I really don't want to get married. I don't understand the point of marriage. But yeah, it was a good book, but it's like the rawness of these men being alone, understanding if being married to someone is the way to live a life, or if they should just continue with their routines of, you know, just hooking up with women and going home alone. I mean, not going home, spending nights not alone but with different women, spending their days alone, if you know what I mean. But yeah, like I said, I had a tough time going through this book. I don't really remember it just because it was a little bit tougher, but so I don't really have much to say on it. But I would say to give it a try. I do want to give more of his books a try. If you know any of his books, if you read them, please share them. But yeah, I think it's worth a try. Yeah, not one of my favorites, but definitely worth the read. But yeah, that's this book for the week. Haruki Murakami, and With That Woman stories. I like the cover of it though. But yeah, that's it. I'm almost done with Bad Feminist. If you remember from my first video, I said I was reading Bad Feminist. I'm almost done with it, so that will probably be the next video. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.